Hello, we're here in Amsterdam for the ISDA annual general meeting. As the event gets started, I'm joined by Jeroen Krens, ISDA Chair, and Scott O'Malia, ISDA CEO, to discuss what we have in store. Jeroen, Scott, welcome to Amsterdam. Now, one of the prominent themes of the AGM this year is the value and the role of derivatives. Can you talk a little bit about why that's on the agenda? Jeroen, perhaps start with you.
So this is his 40th year, and it's probably good to have a moment to stop and think why we spend all this time on this association and do all the work we do. And I think it's really a recognition of the value of derivatives. You know, these are not newfangled products dreamt up by Wall Street for hedge funds. These are used by 87% of 1,200 companies, according to a recent survey. And they're really corporates, pension funds, and insurance companies. And they do this because it adds value to their businesses. And also in aggregate, it adds value to economies, and it contributes to deep and liquid capital markets.
Scott?
Well, I think the recent volatility in the markets, the geopolitical chaos, has reminded people why risk management is important. And we certainly are advocates for using derivatives and certainly making sure we have deep and liquid markets in which people can trade and support their outcomes, consistent with what Jeroen said about risk management.
Now, the value of derivatives is an important part of the AGM, but it's not the only part. There are a number of big issues on the agenda, including Treasury clearing, Basel III, and digital regulatory reporting. What sessions do you have your eye on, Scott?
Well, I hope everyone enjoys all the sessions, but I'm going to be looking very closely at the Treasury clearing session. I think here ISDA plays an important role in advocating for more cost-effective capital rules, particular leverage ratio. We want to make sure that that's treated fairly and not punitive in terms of how repo is treated. We want better treatment of cross-product netting to make that more effective to match client and bank capital rules. And then finally, we want to make sure that the Basel Endgame and GSIB surcharge is not punitive to disincentivize clearing. That's super important here.
Jeroen, what are you looking forward to?
Like Scott, I'm interested in all of it. I'd like to draw attention, and my focus will be on the digital regulatory reporting suite. I think it's a really exciting prospect to bring much greater efficiency to the initially to the aspect of trade reporting. We all have to report in many jurisdictions, and our interpretation of rules is done by single firms and isn't necessarily aligned with what other firms are doing. The DRR is a very exciting prospect because it's essentially a single industry-wide interpretation of the rule set, and it opens avenues to much greater efficiency front to back on reporting through the CDM interpretation of the rule set.
Great. One final question, Jeroen, you're Dutch, we're here in Amsterdam. If delegates have time to just do one thing over the next couple of days, what do you recommend they do?
I really struggled, to think of one thing, but I'm going to say the sun is shining, the weather is amazing. This is a relatively modest-sized city. Get out and walk. Get the vibe, walk the canals. Imagine yourself back in the 17th century, when the trading center was first emerging and derivatives were first emerging. So I'd say it's a walkable city, it's a friendly city. Get out there and do it. And if for some reason you're not as mobile as you'd like to be, take a boat. Do one of they're sometimes deemed a bit touristy, but take a canal boat tour. It's a great prospect from which to see the city.
I will do. Sounds amazing. Jeroen, Scott, thanks very much.